Welcome to the next lesson. So in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to create a run cycle. Alright, so there are four parts of body mechanics that every human being have. You have the walking, you have the jumping, you have the running, and you have the weightlifting. So that's pretty much the body mechanics that every human being have, and that's what I'll be showing you in this character body mechanics module. Alright, so let's jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll come to my first key pose here. We'll select this first key pose, press Ctrl I to select the rest. I think I didn't do that already. So I'll duplicate this pose, so you would have plot.001. So I'll just name this run cycle. Great. So I'll select this key pose, Ctrl I to invert the selection, press X and delete that first pose. Alright, so in this run cycle we'll be using another reference. So I'll come here, find where you save this project file is already available to you, so just download it. So this is the run cycle reference we will be using. Alright, so if you notice this run cycle, the frames are lesser. Okay, because the tighter the frames, the faster the animation, and the more stretched the frame is. What I mean is that the more frames you have, the longer the animation, and the less frames you have, the shorter and faster the animation will be. Alright, so this is the reference we'll be using. Just like we did the last one, we'll just mimic what every key pose looks like and duplicate it with and invert it to the other side of the frame. Alright, so I would practice that right away. Okay, so the first key pose, I don't know if you've noticed that everybody jumps while they are running. So that's it. So we have some jumping right there. So you could notice from the curve here, it goes up and down till it gets to the last key pose. Alright, so this is the key pose we'll be using, starting from the first key. Okay, I would pose this one. So do the same thing for yours. First, I would lift my root bone. That's the root key. Lift it up on the Z axis. Always lift it up on the Z axis. Don't move it forward because we are creating an in place walk cycle. So it's not a progressive, an in-place run cycle. It's not a progressive run cycle. It's going to be running at one spot. So you want to keep your root bone straight on the Z-axis. So pose this key pose. Do the same thing, just like we did in our last class. So I'll move this forward a bit. Okay, just a little bit above the ground like we have here. And let's not forget our arms. Let's key that also. Okay, if you notice the back, you can actually see the back from here. So I think we'll favor, unfortunately, okay, I think there's an inversion for this key pose, so it's the other way around. So I'll select everything while everything is selected. Because while everything is selected, I'll press Ctrl C and Ctrl Shift V to invert the selection. So we have the reverse of our character. So it's the reverse. Alright, so that's what we'll be doing. So I'll also pose this character to move that forward. Okay, from the side view, I'll rotate this forward on the x-axis, rotate this on the z-axis so it favors the other leg, the one landing on the floor. So you always want to favor it So it's more of a stylized for if you're animating a realistic character. So you notice that I think I should free so it runs on its own. So I just freed. So I come under your tools panel here, come under rig properties and free up the head control. So what this means is that wherever your torso turns, your head will not follow. If it sets to 0, the head will not follow, like the neck will not follow wherever your torso turns. You can see that the neck is going on its own. So if I rotate this on the Z axis right now, you see that the head stays in place. So that's what we want. So if it sets to 1, if I rotate this on the Z axis, the head follows. So I want to keep the head at one spot while the character is running, so it has a focus, a direction to where it's running to. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So rotate this hand this way. I'm pressing R twice to actually get perfect rotation for my own. So yours might be different. Look at it from different angle. Always look at your character or your object from different angle, because sometimes you may have different camera positions and you just notice that you've messed up your animation. Okay. Alright, next thing we're going to do is fold the fingers. So first of all, select the hand control. Scroll down while you're in your tools panel here. Scroll down and you'll find the finger grab. So I want to click and drag this to fold the finger just a little bit right there. Select this root finger control. Press R to rotate. I want to look at it from the field view. So I'm pressing R twice to actually get a perfect rotation for the fingers, just making it relax a bit. Alright, so while that is still selected, I'll hold down Shift and select the control again. So I want to copy it to the other hand. Alright, so I'll just press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and it will paste it at the other finger. So you notice the finger is also relaxed at the other hand too. So okay, and let's look at it from the side view. So we have the back a bit. So that's our first key pose. So our first key pose, I'll select everything, press I to set a key pose, to add a keyframe. Alright, so I'll move to frame 3 here. So let's create the down pose. So what we'll do here is we'll bring our torso down. Okay, we'll clear out this rotation, Control Alt R to clear out every rotation, and move this backward just a bit right there. We'll bring this other leg forward. I think I'll clear out the rotation for this too. Rotate this a bit. I'm still wondering why my legs are poking out of the feet, out of the shoes anyways. So these things happen anyways, just let's not be distracted, let's not get distracted. We'll solve that when it's time to for our character acting. Okay, so that's it's not touching the floor. So always take note so you don't have your character's feet sweeping or sliding, or it's not touching the floor. Always make sure you pay attention to those details. So for the second pose, we see that the back is a bit straight, so we'll rotate that. We'll clear this rotation just a bit, clear this one, and just move this. It's our down pose, so we want to get that down position for our character. Alright, this is going to be fun. Just pay attention. So you notice our head, because we changed our head to not follow the body, so you notice our head is still focused on the direction at which it's going. Alright, so I think we are I'm okay with that. The arms, I'll tweak that a bit. So just train your eyes when it comes to this run cycle. You just have to train your eyes to look, to actually watch and observe. Okay, and like I said in previous lesson for these body mechanics, there are different types of walk. There are walks for old men. There are also walks for younger men. So you just have to train your eyes to observe. Okay, the key thing about being a good animator is, and this is a secret, I'm just going to give it to you here for free, it's not in your ability to create gang art or amazing animation, copy and paste. It's your ability to observe, to train your eyes. You just have to learn to train your eyes, and that's, if you're even going for any job or anything, that's the key thing they're going to ask you. That's what they're looking for. I mean, how good you are with your eyes. Okay, so let's go to our up pose. I'll call it the push pose here. Yeah. So we'll go to frame 5. Frame 5. We'll pull this back on the y-axis. Notice right there. Let's pull this heel up a bit. Make sure it's touching the floor. Bring your feet down so it touches the floor. Then move your root bone up. This is the bone I'm selecting, by the way. Move your root bone up. Bring this other leg forward. Clear the rotation for all of these. So clear this out. I rotate it to favor this other leg, the one about to land on the floor. So I'll also tweak these two. So you notice from my front view now it's messed up. So I'll clear that rotation and rotate it on the Z axis. Clear this other rotation. Okay, I think it's okay. I just have to tweak the arms now. So you notice it's now entering into the character. So you have to learn to look at it from different perspective. I mean, you will learn a lot being an animator. Anyways, just learn to look at it from different perspective. So I'll bring this forward. Take this forward. So you notice it's still, character is still bent forward a bit, so we just do that. I think I should clear that rotation and actually do it manually. And rotate this instead. Exactly. So look at the arms again. So I hope you're following this. I mean, just make sure you pay attention to your key poses. Just pay attention to them. Okay, don't be in a hurry. Pay attention. Just train your eyes. Look at it properly. Make sure you get all the key poses. Pay attention. Please pay attention. I can't stress it enough. So rotate this a bit, just a bit right there. I think I'll press R twice to have this, so it looks as if it's the arms. You can't really see the other part, but if you're actually running, you would notice that your arm tends to come in front just a bit. It's curved in front, while this actually bends behind, just like that. So select everything, press I to set a keyframe. So the next one is the up pose. So I'll go to frame 12, frame 8, yeah, frame 8 to add the up pose. So this, I'll select my root bone again, move on the Z-axis. Don't overkill it anyways. Don't over push it anyways. Just subtle, very subtle. So while that's up in the air, rotate this up, bring this other leg. I mean, some of you are getting it right now. You're already getting it. Clear the rotation. Alright, always pay attention. You could see that there is the bend on the knee. When you're running, your legs don't automatically go straight. So there's still a curve at the end of the day. Okay, so while it's lifted, the body is also stretched up a bit. So I'll rotate this Z-axis back in location. I'll spread the arms a bit. Press R to rotate the arms. Move this forward. So this is where it goes up. Got it from the side view again. So I think that's okay. I'll select everything, press I. So the final frame, this is pretty easy. All I have to do at the next key pose, that's at frame 12. I'll copy this first. It's the same thing here, but the reverse. Alright? So to get that consistency or accuracy, so at frame 12, I'll just select the first key pose, press Ctrl C to copy it, and press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Shift V to paste it. That's the reverse. So you can see it. We've created our first step. So that's the first step. Okay, so the next one we're going to work on now is the next step, which is this one. So which is pretty easy. So we just have to copy and paste the reverse, just like we have here. So there, if you notice, there are three frames interval, then 4 frames at the end. So let's do that right away. So from 12 we count 1, 2, which is at frame 3. If you count 1, 2, you will land at frame 3. So we want to do the same thing here. From frame 12 counts 1, 2. Alright, so just take note of them. So we'll copy this frame, Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift V to paste the reverse. So we'll count again at frame 5, which is 3 again. We'll count 1, 2. That's frame 16. We'll copy frame 5's key pose and paste the reverse, which is Ctrl C and Ctrl Shift V. Okay, so from frame 5 to frame 8 is 3 frames. So we'll count 1, 2, 3. That's frame 19. We'll paste the reverse of frame 8. So copy and hold down Ctrl Shift and paste the reverse. So finally, from frame 8 to 12 is 4 frames. Okay, so we'll count 4 frames then and paste this one. No, we won't paste that one actually. So at frame 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, at frame 23, yeah, at frame 23, we'll copy and paste the first keyframe, the first key pose. That's Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Alright, so we're not pasting the reverse there, so we want it to land at the initial pose. So we're actually going back to this first pose when it has made a full run cycle. So this is the first step from frame 1 to 12. So just look at it from frame 1 to 12 is your first step when you're running. Then from 12 to 23 is your second step when you're running, which you need those two steps to make a full run cycle, a full run. Then it repeats itself at the end of the day. So that's how it works. So set this frame, this timing to 23. All right, I think let's set it to 22, so it starts over again. So if I play this now, you can see our character is running. The cartoon character is actually running. All right, so it makes the first step from frame 1 to 12, and the next step from frame 12 to 22. All right, so you can see how clean the character is right now. It's actually running. Smooth, right? So we've created, let's go on slow motion so you can actually see it's running. Okay, so we are done. This is how to create this, the basic way to create a run cycle. So let's look at it from the front view here. This somewhere's wrong right there. So look at it from the front view. If I disable the controls, everything on the scene, you can actually see, let's say you're animating and your character is moving. So you see the reason why I wanted the head to stay in motion. So in case you're actually creating a character animation and you want the head to be independent of the body's running. Okay, so you have to animate the head independently, maybe to look sideways or look behind, maybe something is pursuing it. So you get the drift. Right, so this is pretty much how to create a run cycle in Blender. Okay, so now I have an assignment for you, and you guessed right. Your assignment is to create a progressive run cycle. Yes, create a progressive run cycle following these principles. Okay, yeah, I know I am that teacher who will give you 1 + 1, 2 as an example and give you dy dx as an assignment. Yes, I know I am that teacher. So you're going to do the same thing for like we did in our walk cycle. So just do a progressive run cycle for this character. I'll give you an expo. So you notice how we measured our feet. So you do the same thing for this one. So just measure it. I don't think you may necessarily measure it per se. You don't have to necessarily, just like I said, learn to train your eyes and observe. Okay, you can see the distance because when you want to measure now, you can see the distance of the leg. You know, some characters, if you want to exaggerate, remember our 12 principles of animation, you have to over exaggerate the character. You may actually stretch the legs to to run wider. So depending on your shot, so just create a progressive run cycle for this. And another expo or I'm giving to you is just learn to move this forward, translate this forward on the y-axis. Just make sure you lock this on the y-axis, let it keep going on the y-axis to your particular destination. So that's your assignment. So create a progressive run cycle and let's see your result. For now, let me see your result from this in place run cycle we just did right now. So post it on the group, record it, let me see what you've done, let me see your progress so far. And the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to create a character jump, which is another part of body mechanics, characters jumping from one part to the other, and we are going to do the same thing in Blender. And I'll see you in the next lesson. So after that, I'll show you how to create a character weight lifting. So it lifts weights, how the body of the character responds to weight, how to actually animate characters lifting weight, how they actually respond to heavy objects or light objects, or even if they kick objects. So you have that mentality when animating your character. So it's about training your mind and knowing how these things work. Alright, so I'll see you in the next class or in the next lesson as we take our character jump. See you then. Bye.